The Republic of Singapore Navy provides seaward defense and ensures the safety and security of Singapore's vital sea lines of communication. 34-year-old Lieutenant Colonel Neo Su Yin is commanding officer of the patrol vessel RSS Dauntless, one of many platforms that the Navy relies on to meet its mission objectives.
Our operations here are 24/7. We provide patrols in the Singapore Straits up to Horsburgh. We provide what we call naval presence. Yeah, we do surveillance as well. It is really, I think, a sense of deterrence. At the same time, I think it is also to tell people that we take our sovereignty very seriously. The challenge of, I think, the commanding officer of a PV is really about keeping the people motivated, keeping the people engaged, and reminding them about our purpose and our mission. The sovereignty of our waters, the safety of our waters really is in the hands of what we do out every day. We must always be on the top of things. We always have to stay vigilant because you never know when the enemy is going to attack. Yeah.
The patrol vessels are one of the most operational platforms in the Navy, conducting patrols 24 hours round the clock. According to Lieutenant Colonel Neo, it is also one of the best training platforms on which junior ratings and officers can hone their skills.
Because we go out so frequently, it is a good chance for them to test out what their skills are, what their training is, and because we frequent the waters of Singapore, they become very familiar with our operating environment, which I think if you compare to any part of the world, Singapore's water is the most congested. It really provides a very good training for our people to really be put under the most stressful conditions. And hopefully the experience that they've gained from this platform will put them in good stand when they go to another platform.
It's tough to be on patrol round the clock, and there are some months when the operational tempo kicks up a notch, and RSS Dauntless will be scheduled for sailing almost back to back. Lieutenant Colonel Neo understands the kind of hard work that her crew puts in and will try to thank them with little treats that she makes personally at home. A gesture that is very much appreciated by everyone on board.
She does that very often, showing her appreciation that way. She always comes with good food and all that, but she's not expecting anything, and she's not saying, guys, you all did well previously, that's why I'm getting you this. It just comes with her. She's just a mother.
Oh dear. How I approach my command so far is really how I am like a mother. Yeah, you always want the best for your children. You demand, high standards from your children, but at the same time you love them very much. You try to nurture them, you develop them, making sure that they are ready to deliver the best, not only for the mission and for the ship, but for themselves as well.
That she, on one hand, train the guys hard. On the other hand, keep telling, especially EXOs and other officers, to manage the training tempo appropriately, such that they will not be too stretched. It will be a sustainable cycle.
With her very first shipboard appointment as a navigating officer of the landing ship tank RSS Persistence, Lieutenant Colonel Neo was sent to Indonesia for her very first humanitarian and disaster relief mission to provide aid after the devastating Boxing Day tsunami in 2004.
We were deployed to Malabo on very short notice. 48 hours, we prepped the ship, carried a lot of supplies with all the aid as well as the aid workers. We also carried the army with us. A natural disaster like that really devastates life and devastates people and geography. But I think what I took away from that is everybody can do a small part to help to contribute to reconstruction efforts. At the same time, it also showed me, I think, the softer aspect of things, which is the resilience of people. The Indonesian people were very resilient. I mean, to see the life that was restored after such a short period of time after the disaster had happened. At the same time, it's also to see the endurance of our people. My crew worked so hard, and many of them volunteered. Even people from other squadrons volunteered to come forward to provide help and assistance without any due consideration for credit to be given after that. In the more recent years, I was deployed for counter-piracy operations in the Gulf of Aden. I was deployed twice, one in the capacity of ops officer for the task group, and then on the second time I was the executive officer, so I was also the manpower officer for the deployment. Many people ask why we go all the way to Gulf of Aden. The waters there are so far away from Singapore. I think the key takeaway there is really that all these sea lines of communication is integral and critical to our survivability in Singapore. So that's why even a small country like us go there, provide assets to support the efforts for counter piracy, because really it makes a big difference to our survivability as a small country.
Despite these overseas deployments and the fact that she has more than 14 years of experience under her belt, Lieutenant Colonel Neo approaches her job with a huge dose of humility.
If you look at the ship hierarchy, there are some people in the ship who are actually more senior than me, have had more experience than me, and I do appreciate the sharing of experiences with me. At the same time, I have to use my discretion and my decision making as a CO to then come up with the best solution for the ship. And I think it is really about being humble enough to accept that even as a CO, sometimes yes, we can make mistakes. My officers can tell me if I have done something that may not be aligned or I made a mistake, and then there's a feedback and there's a counterbalance. For a ship to be successful, it is really about creating that culture where people can speak freely without fear or favour. So it is really, I think, that environment that hopefully I've created so far on Dauntless. I've matured a lot over the last 15 years in the service, and I think there's been a lot of self-discovery. I've had very good mentors along the way. I think they have not only sharpened the way I lead people and command people, but they've also taught me a lot about who I am and what I can achieve. I'm very fortunate to have a very strong family support system that's helped me to get through my career. And I think the other group of people that has really helped me in my personal development is really my people. The guys that work with me. I've learned a lot from them. They have taught me about a lot more about how I manage people. How do I get the best out of each and every one of them? It's not easy, but I think really it is about the higher purpose of what we do. Here really it is about protecting your family. It is about the safety and security and the peace that we enjoy in Singapore. We have had peace for so many decades in Singapore, and I think this is something that we mustn't take for granted, really. We really mustn't take for granted.